Ok. Olá pessoal, tudo bem? Rafael Reis aqui, bom dia para vocês. Hoje estamos começando o último podcast, o Ronco do Bugio, aqui do IVE Festival. Estamos aqui hoje com a Emmy Wu, do ALLMYNE, e também com o Aldo da Quero Tour, guia também daqui do Brasil. Hoje vai ser um pouquinho diferente, a gente vai ter uma conversa em inglês, então desculpem meu inglês que não é muito bom, mas a gente consegue se comunicar aqui com o pessoal, que é o mais importante é escutar o que eles têm a dizer, tá ok? Para quem não sabe, Ive vem da palavra tupi, que significa terra, e é uma palavra muito mais do que apenas terra, é uma relação entre o homem e a natureza, né? Por isso a gente escolheu esse nome tão peculiar para o nosso festival. A gente está aqui no Parnaso. Parnaso é o Parque Nacional Serra dos Órgãos, aqui de Teresópolis, terceira unidade de conservação mais antiga do país, e não poderia ter um local melhor do que esse para a gente fazer o nosso festival e realizar o nosso podcast. Como vocês podem ver aqui ao fundo, a gente tem um background da Mata Atlântica, né? Então é um belíssimo cenário aqui para o nosso podcast. E para você que está aí em casa vendo o nosso podcast e queira participar aqui do festival, ainda dá tempo, venham para cá, daqui a pouco, assim que acabar o podcast, a Emmy vai fazer a palestra dela sobre como a tecnologia pode ajudar os guias locais, e também depois disso a gente vai ter uma outra palestra com o Fernando Pessoa, um geógrafo fantástico aqui da região, que vai falar sobre as montanhas da região. Não percam, as palestras começam meio-dia e depois a outra palestra 1 hora. E ainda hoje a gente também tem a cerimônia de encerramento do nosso IVE Festival. Finalmente teremos a nossa cerimônia, né, que a gente vai homenagear o pessoal, vai entregar os troféus aos melhores filmes. E para você que quer participar da cerimônia, o ingresso é gratuito, você consegue entrar na nossa bio do link do nosso Instagram, entrar lá clicando para pegar o seu ingresso, tá? O ingresso é gratuito, mas você precisa fazer essa reserva antes, né? Então, pessoal, aproveitando também, hoje está um dia lindo, venham para cá, está acontecendo a temporada de abertura de montanhismo também do Parque Nacional. Acabou de terminar a corrida do 360, né? O pessoal está todo aqui empolgado, muita coisa acontecendo no parque. Então, gente, venham para cá, tá? Aproveitem. E agora vamos começar aqui com a Emmy. Hi Emmy, thank you so much to be here with us. It's a very pleasure to finally meet you in person. Who don't know, we worked together for 3 years. For I think 3 years in very different projects, and now you is head of marketing of ALLMYNE. And thank you so much for your presence. And tell to the people, first of all, who is Emmy?
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a crazy journey to have connected with you over 3 years ago, working on different video production projects, you know, myself in the US and you in Brazil, and to finally meet you in person and to come to first Rio de Janeiro and then Teresópolis. It's been such an amazing, beautiful journey. And my own journey, I started in the Hollywood film industry. Since I was a young one finishing university, I always wanted to be Indiana Jane and make documentaries, you know, in the Amazon and see just beautiful places around the world. And that's always what's guided my work. And so when I was younger, I actually worked in a lot of commercial projects, big commercials and feature films in Hollywood. And then around 2015, I moved to the U.S. Because I met a boy. He's my husband now. But then at that time, I started to transition more into marketing because in where I was living in Portland, Oregon, there really isn't very much of a film industry there. Not like Vancouver, BC, and Canada, where I'm from. So it was more of a how do I now survive here? What do I do here? But I brought my love of storytelling and video production and started to teach entrepreneurs how to use video to promote their own business. And during that time, you know, is a interesting journey because I've always been only behind the camera, and then now for the first time I have to be in front of the camera.
Me too.
Yeah,
it's okay.
it's not an easy process. process, but now looking back, I'm very grateful for that experience because it really taught me how to speak on camera, how to speak in front of a crowd, which I had never done before. And so over the last few years, I've had the amazing privilege to work on amazing projects that have brought me to different corners of the world, Mongolia,
nice.
Japan, Iquitos, Peru, and the Amazon, and now here Brazil. Amazing people, amazing projects, and that's kind of what led me here today to work with ALLMYNE, an amazing new travel app that we just fairly recently launched in October that's designed to bring the human touch back into travel. A lot of times when people are looking at traveling, they want to book through Expedia or Booking.com, but really you're just paying big corporations and these big agencies. And now with the world becoming more and more automated, more and more AI, I think people really appreciate the human connections.
Yes.
And that's really what ALLMYNE's about, really creating those human connections where travelers can connect with tour guides, and tour guides can also connect with travelers around the world. And I'm just really excited to be here to represent for ALLMYNE.
And thank you so much to be here. Thank you, ALLMYNE, to support this event. Without you, we can't do half of this action. So thank you so much. And Emmy, we work together remotely. You run a lot of projects remotely, and you have a very great organization skills and communication skills. So I have some clients, and you is very, very well organized. So thank you for that. And please, can you tell some tips for people who work remotely, because you are great with that.
Oh, thank you so much. I think, like you said, organization is so important. But I think also trying to connect with people on the other side of that computer screen and thinking of each other as humans, just another person, and trying to connect with that person, getting to know them just a little bit more, is very helpful in building that connection when we are working remotely. I would say too, one of the things that have helped me personally in working remotely, because we're always on the computer, and it's very easy to just, become absorbed, always online, always on the computer. So for me personally, it's been important to balance that, with real life interactions, get off the computer, go do some sports, go for a walk, it's so important. People who have to go to the office, they don't even consider that, because they get to interact with people all the time. So for me, that's been very important. I would also say, because when we're working remotely, we have different people, sometimes speaking different native languages, working in different time zones with different cultural understandings. And so for me, having a project hub, one single place, like we use Monday.com, right?
Exactly.
But having one single place where you communicate, that has all the project milestones very clearly laid out, as well as everything your team members need to complete their task. And that's going to be really helpful, because if we work together on a video project and then you have to look here for one file and then go look here for another file and then look in your email for another file, that can be very frustrating and also just not very efficient. So I think being able to have that centralized hub that's very organized really helps the entire team workflow. And when we can focus on just doing our jobs and being creative, I think that's where we perform the best.
Yeah, and we always use like Monday.com. Frame.io is a great software to give some feedback. It's easy, so thank you for these tips. And we are here with Aldo too. Aldo is a Brazilian guide and run a carol tour. So please tell me about your background and who is Aldo.
So, my name is Aldo Tinoco. I'm a tour guide, international tour guide, but I'm working often in Rio de Janeiro and in the whole state of Rio de Janeiro state. Okay, I'm Brazilian. Okay, I know how to speak English, Spanish, French. Next August I will start Italian.
Oh,
Okay,
nice.
I almost tour guide 3 years. Okay, because next October I will conclude 3 years working. But I have a theory that I worked until starting 21 years old until 42 years old. Now I'm an entertainer because I do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm decide to create a company, a travel agency. This Quero Tour, because Quero in Portuguese is I want.
Yeah.
Okay, this is slogan. Quero viajar, quero diversão, quero tour. Okay, and so I come here to Teresópolis the second time here, because the first time I come here in 2022, I was a student to be tour guide, and now I knew ALLMYNE by another co-worker because I decided to join to app ALLMYNE because in my opinion it's essential to have many options to guide, because for example in Rio de Janeiro we have many travel agents, but during the high season, okay, we work all the time, but during the low season, okay, we stay 1 week, sometimes 2 weeks, or maybe 1 month at home. In Brazil, it's very dangerous to be all long time at home because the wife says, "Oh, get out, or go work," because you are so many time inside at home. Okay, you know,
Yes.
Rafael, because you are married.
Yeah.
Okay,
Absolutely.
so because of this, I decided to create a working of the partnerships. Okay, and ALLMYNE is my newest partnership, and with I suggest to all my co-workers to join ALLMYNE because the tax, the commission, the fee to ALLMYNE is lower than, for example, the other players. Okay, and because of this, I'm here. I saw your message, okay? But
Yeah.
during the days, okay, the days so fast, okay, working, and I forgot completely. And then I received a message thanks to Aaron, Liz, and Tommy because and Stan, her husband, okay, Emmy is safe here in Brazil, don't worry, okay? And I received a message, okay, because this job to come to pick up international airports in Copacabana and come here to festival here in in Teresópolis. And then that's it. I'm very happy because I'm here to know in person you and Emmy. And let me jump your invitation because I I said before to starting the live. But let me jump the invitation, and you are invited to come back the second edition, the festival here next year, and the whole festivals you are invited. And Tom, Lisa, Aaron, please come to Brazil, and
Yeah.
also my friends listening, watching me now here in Brazil, and all around the world here in Brazil. Come to Brazil, Rio de Janeiro, and Teresópolis. Don't lose, please.
As Aldo told, EV Festivals is on the app ALLMYNE too. And Amy, please tell about the ALLMYNE app. This app can connect people, can connect guide and tourists.
Yeah, so ALLMYNE came from a love of travel. Our co-founders, Tommy and Lisa, have each traveled to over 100 countries
Yes.
individually. So their love of experiences and meeting new people and experiencing new cultures, that's really where the app kind of grew from. But ultimately, we see ALLMYNE as a way that we can use technology to connect people with authentic experiences, because in a world that's, like I said, so automated, we crave that human connection. Ultimately, people are not going to remember, oh, I booked an amazing thing on the app.
Yes.
They're going to remember, wow, I had an amazing day in Teresópolis.
Exactly.
They're going to remember those experiences and the people that they met. And so ALLMYNE is really about connecting travelers with a global network of tour guides. We have tour guides, obviously, obviously here in Brazil, like Aldo, as well as across Europe and even parts of Africa, Morocco, and Uganda. And we're also looking to expand into China. So we're really building this network of passionate guides who just really want to showcase the towns that, you know, they have so much knowledge and stories and experiences in. And that's really what travelers are looking for too, you know?
Yes.
Like, I don't want to do... So, for example, when I arrived in Rio de Janeiro, I wanted to go see Christ the Redeemer. I want to go see Sugarloaf Mountain, but I do not want to stand in a lineup, you know, and I know it's so busy there. And so I opted for a different way to see it by boat because it's a little less crowded. And so what ALLMYNE does is it connects travelers and their preferences, the types of experiences that they want, with the tour guide. Lots of cool features about the app that I think make it different. You know, one is focusing on that human connection, but another aspect too is technology and social media is so rampant these days. And I think a lot of people, you know, especially a little bit older people like myself, you know, we don't want to be on social media all the time, and it can be quite overwhelming. And so ALLMYNE is an alternative to that. When you travel, you're always taking photos and videos, and you can store your voice memos and sounds in the ALLMYNE app, but you don't have to post every day. It's not about getting more likes, and in fact, you can even keep your journals private.
Yeah.
So that's one feature that is kind of cool, you know, like I want to share my pictures, but I don't want strangers around the world to see everything that I'm doing. So with ALLMYNE, you can actually keep your journals private and just share them with your friends, your family, your loved ones, and you can even send postcards directly from the app. So, you know, I might do that today, take a picture of myself and Aldo and you, you know, here in Teresopolis, and in the app we can send that photo as a postcard, maybe to Tommy and Lisa, you know.
Right.
So it's really a way of bridging the human connection that I think is kind of missing these days with the technology, and hopefully the two together we can amplify our results.
Yeah. At the end of the day, what the most important thing is the experience, right? And with ALLMYNE we can do that because we can connect with real and local guides. So with that, with the local guides, we can find the real gems in this place.
It's true. You know, I think the best experiences in my travels have always been with locals. You know, the stories from years ago have always been when I ventured into the village, when when the local took me into this underground bar in Tokyo that I never would have found on my own. You know, it really is the locals that can give you the insights and the access to those hidden gems that people can't find in guidebooks. You can't find it in Google Maps. That's really the key here, and I think that's also really where those true connections and memories are made.
Great. And Aldo, you as guide here, a local guide, tell us your experience with ALLMYNE, please.
My experience in ALLMYNE is my first job. I have many confessions to do.
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
It's a new app.
Yes.
So please, if you are a guide, download the app. It's great for you.
It's my first job to ALLMYNE, and the first job with the big one, Emmy Wu. And ALLMYNE is going together with Quero Tour is my own travel agency, because I think that I also think that the filter is the private tours, okay? The people can pay more, but don't have big lines, okay, to wait to go into Christ Redeemer. For example, I know the right places, the right moment to go to Christ Redeemer to take pictures and to avoid, for example, the crowds, for example, okay? But my experience with ALLMYNE is with Emmy Wu, okay, is the first job, okay. I'm anxious to receive more tourists here because, in my opinion, the tourists, okay, the clients, not tourists, new friends, only new friends, because Quero Tour is going with ALLMYNE the same mission, because Quero Tour has the mission to provide incredible unforgettable and a formidable tours to everyone, because each experience is unique.
Yes.
Okay, and because of this, I think that the filter is don't put inside in the van as 14, 19 people inside. Okay, is 1, 2, 3, 5 at maximum people and the family. Okay, inside the car, and to go to visit, for example, the historical place, because I'm to get to historical place, to the beaches and the forest, and that I think about the filter, because everybody's so boring, so sad, because after the end of the day, I would like to stay at the Christ Redeemer 1 hour, or for example, I would like to stay here in Parnaso all day long, but only 2 hours. Okay, and because of this, in my opinion, I think that is the filter, and there is a big market in the whole world to profit and to gain money.
Yeah, that's great. And talking about the app, inside the app, yesterday you speech on AI. AI.
Yeah, elevating creativity using AI.
Yeah, exactly. But inside the app, the ALLMYNE has AI features. Tell about that. Please.
Yeah, so there's a time and a place for AI, right?
Yeah.
And one of the places that we've used it inside the ALLMYNE app is the AI recommender. So this is a feature, it's a free feature. All users, if you download the app, go to just allmine.com and you can download the app for free. You actually get access to this really cool feature that can recommend places, things to do, places to eat, that you might be a little bit harder to find, if you were to try and look yourself on Google.
Yeah.
So basically what it is you tell the app where you're going to go. I'm going to go to Rio de Janeiro. And inside the AI recommender, there's different types of activities. So maybe I want to see museums, and maybe I want to see nature walks, or maybe I want to see the cool bars and restaurants. Then the AI will gather the information from your geographical location and recommend for you places that you can go and see. Now, of course, it's not necessarily going to be personalized to the level that if you were to get, a human guide, but it's a really helpful way to find some things that are close to you that you're interested in, without having to search on Google forever, or try and find things on Google Maps and you don't even know where you are. Right?
It's the old way to do that.
Right. Yeah. And but if you upgrade to the Pro feature, you actually have access to like unlimited categories.
Oh, nice.
So the AI recommender has so many different categories. I can't even remember what they all are. The free version, you get access to, I believe, 3 different categories. But on the Pro version, you can access a whole bunch of different activities, different places to see, and basically what it does is it finds those places for you close to where you are. So it really helps to plan your itinerary in a way, without having to just cut down on the legwork. I think this is where AI, it really complements travel.
Yeah, exactly. And return to Aldo. Aldo, it's your second time here, as you told. But in Parnaso, is your first time or second time too?
Second time too in Parnaso, because I come here in 2022. Okay, it's the second time here, but I'm sure that I will be back more times.
Sure.
Okay, because I made many videos. Okay, I will put arroba IVI festival. I forgot, sorry, because I'm not a wisdom like a expert in the digital media.
Sure.
Okay, I prefer here in a person. Okay,
like real connection.
Yeah, real connects. My digital media is my wife. Okay, my wife kisses. I miss you. Okay, she's my digital media, because I take a picture. Okay, and send to her. Okay, put the face. But it's the second time I'm here. Okay, I'll be back, because my idea is bring the new friends, the clients, the tourists here to enjoy the well. My idea is to create a tour, okay, because in Rio de Janeiro it's so common a tour to go and come back at the same day. Okay, for example, to go to Petrópolis, Angra dos Reis, Arraial do Cabo, and other cities around the whole state of Rio de Janeiro state. My idea is to create a a regular tour, okay, to come here and come back someday, or even the tour to stay here during the weekend, like today, and incredible and unforgettable day today, Sunday, in the park here. That's one of my ideas burning in my brain, my mind. Not like Emmy, like yesterday when I was translating to EI, because EI to me is a new tool, is a new knowledge. I was born yesterday, receiving many informations. That's my second time. That's it.
Great. And it's your first time here in Brazil. Tell us about your experience in Rio, in Teresópolis, and at the EV Festival too.
Oh my goodness, how much time do we have? I've had the joy of coming to South America a few times for work, but this is my first time in Brazil, and it did not disappoint. I think when foreigners think about Brazil, we think about the beach and Mardi Gras, and we think about like the vibrancy and the colorful culture that is here, and certainly it was that way when I came to Rio de Janeiro. Of course I had to book myself a paragliding experience.
Very nice.
And just being able to see all of the beach, Ipanema Beach underneath me, with the big fragata birds, is that what
yes,
they're called?
fragata birds.
Fragata
Yes,
birds,
it's okay.
and some hang gliders like next to me. I'll always remember that. I feel like that's a once in a lifetime experience. And then also in the evening, I took a sunset boat ride because I don't want to do the crowds up there, but I like to see everything from the ocean where it's a little bit quieter, and getting to meet Brazilians, people from Ecuador, people from Sweden. That meeting with Aldo, of course, too. Like that made my experience so much more easier, being my translator. If I didn't have Aldo, I would be hiding in my hotel room every day. But he was able to take me for a walk around the beach and explore Copacabana a little bit, and then driving up to here with the views is just. This is something that's very majestic.
Yeah, it's unique here.
Very unique and very like high peaks. And then coming here to Teresópolis the first day. Well, the first day we went for a nice walk in the wrong direction, but we also got to...
I know. Yeah, it's okay. But it's good to visit some place here. Yeah,
we got very familiar with Teresópolis.
Exactly.
And then beautiful homes, just a beautiful landscape here, and just the air feels so crisp and clean. A very different feeling from Rio de Janeiro. And of course the opening night here was so exciting to meet so many people here. Even one of the attendees and participants of the film festival actually drove us from the bottom of the park up to where we needed to be. So I feel like we've just been I've been so blessed to just been embraced with the warmth and the culture that makes Brazil so vibrant and so unique.
Thank you to be
Thanks
here.
so much.
We were finishing your podcast, but you would like to say some words before we finish?
I want to say thanks so much, Rafael, because I'm here with Emmy. Emmy, thanks so much. Emmy, Tommy, Aaron, Lisa, because I'm working here. I want to invite all my co-workers to join ALLMYNE on business, your travel agency. The difficulties about to stay during the low season to pay the bills. And I have a phrase that the bills doesn't go on vacation, okay? The next bill won't come on next year. And when I come here in Brazil, all my foreigners friends, you have an opportunity to visit and to know and to live like Brazilians. Because, for example, Emmy, she knows how to say good morning in Portuguese. Thank you so much. I learned some words, okay, in bad words like paralelepípedo. Paralelepípedo is a big stone on the streets.
Yeah. But it's a nice word in Portuguese.
Yes, but she said the first time I said
Parallelépipédo.
Yes.
Oh, that's great.
Yes.
You're Brazilian too.
Yes.
Working on it.
Yes. And say to my friends, to everybody here, follow ALLMYNE, in Instagram, join.ALLMYNE. Okay, join EVI Festival, and also follow me, Quero Tour with K underline in Instagram. And I hope you here in Brazil, all my friends in Brazil, outside, abroad Brazil. And thanks so much, Rafael. Thank you, Emmy. Your trust on me. And I hope you come back here with Stan, your husband, more times in Brazil, because can I share the secret about this Stan? No?
Which one?
Which one? Because Stan was afraid to Emmy come to Brazil. And the first post I put in my Instagram, okay, I put the music from Guns N' Roses, Welcome to the Jungle.
Welcome to the jungle.
Yes.
It's nice.
Yes. That's it. That's it. It's a wonderful day. It's a wonderful job. I miss you, the job, and Emmy and Rafael, but I hope to be here with Emmy and you, Rafael, and then more times, next second festival, third festival, okay, with ALLMYNE and Quero Tour, of course. Thanks so much.
Thank you. And would you like to say something before we finish?
Yeah, well, of course, thank you so much, Rafael. And also, I apologize. For the last 3 years, I always call you Rafael because that is the English way of saying it. And then I'm like, oh, no, it's Rafael.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Thank you. But Rafael, it's okay. Rafael.
Yeah. And, for me, it's been just so cool to finally meet you in person and
absolutely.
to have, of course, collaborate on previous projects together. But to see something like this come together in a real life experience is incredible. Yeah. So thank you so much for the invitation and for all your hard work in putting together this amazing festival. And my new Brazilian friend, Aldo, thank you for keeping me safe and
always, no problem.
And making sure that I eat as much sushi and fish as I like.
Yes, codfish stick in Copacabana, street fish.
Yes, the priorities. And of course, thank you, Tommy and Lisa from ALLMYNE, who, of course, first believed in me to, market the product of ALLMYNE and to bring me here and for us to have this exposure to the Brazilian market. I feel very blessed to be a part of that team.
And thank you so much, Emmy, to be here present. It's very important you be here. Thank you to ALLMYNE too, because without ALLMYNE we can't do half of that. So, pessoal, estamos terminando agora o nosso podcast. Agradecer a todos vocês pela presença. Ainda dá tempo, venham aqui para o festival. Daqui a pouquinho a gente vai ter a palestra da Emmy falando sobre guias locais e como eles podem melhorar a economia local também através da tecnologia. Vai falar da ALLMYNE também. E logo depois teremos o Fernando Pessoas, geógrafo, falando aqui sobre as montanhas da região. E lembrando que hoje ainda às 5h30 teremos a cerimônia de encerramento do festival. Quem ainda não pegou os ingressos, entra no nosso link da bio, aproveite lá, que o ingresso é gratuito, mas você precisa fazer a reserva através do nosso link da bio, tá ok? Muito obrigado, aproveita ainda o dia do domingo está tão bonito, aguardo vocês e até a próxima. Um abraço, pessoal, tchau, tchau.